Okay, I've been wanting to record this one for a while, just trying to get my thoughts together. I'm going to talk about depression. I'm going to come at it from a little bit of a different angle. Now, those of us who have depression, we get a lot of bad advice from people who don't have depression. And my attitude is, if you don't have depression, don't give advice to people that do have depression. You need to shut up. You don't get it. Okay, it's like talking to someone. It's like being a white person talking to a minority about racism and telling them that racism doesn't exist. You don't know whether it exists or not because you're not experiencing it. So just shut up. Don't talk about that shit. What people that are dealing with depression need is just someone who cares. So if you can listen to someone, you can be empathetic, that's actually useful. But also telling someone who has depression that, hey, what are you depressed about? You have everything. You got clothes on your back, you make good money, you got a great family. What are you depressed about? Just get over it. That's not helpful either. Because now we're saying that happiness is predicated on what you have, and real happiness supersedes that. It goes way beyond that. We all know, those of us that have achieved a lot of things, that eventually you just get back to feeling how you felt before you achieved those things. You get back to your baseline. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to pursue things. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to achieve things. That's all fun, and it helps to some extent. But if you have serious depression before all of that, eventually it's gonna come right back. So just telling someone to get over it, that's not helpful. Telling someone to think about people that are less fortunate, I mean, that's true. There's definitely a lot of people, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second as well. That's not really that effective either. What is effective is this: taking charge of your health, optimizing your hormones. Get your testosterone levels checked, men and women, DHEA, pregnenolone, the whole shebang. Because when you optimize this orchestra, this hormonal orchestra, it doesn't make the depression go away. It doesn't make the darkness go away. And that's really what depression feels like. It feels like you have this dark passenger following you. The darkness is always there in the back. Even when you're happy, there's that darkness right back there that you think is gonna come back and just consume you. It's not gonna make that go away, but what it's gonna do is fortify you. It's gonna make you more resilient so that instead of drowning in the darkness, now you can thrive in the darkness. Now you can swim in the darkness. Now you can flip that and use it to your advantage. I've had depression my entire life, as far as I can think, as far as I can remember. And it's definitely had negative ramifications at different points, but without that, I wouldn't have gone on to get into fitness at a high level, get into this business, be empathetic, be compassionate to animals and people. So you can take that depression, and instead of just feeling it inwardly, you use it as fuel, you use it as fire to help others. So optimizing hormones is important. So check out all the free information I have on my website, and I also have a hormone optimization lecture series. Now that's gonna tie in right to the next point I'm gonna make. Now what really helps more than anything is getting outside yourself and helping other people, helping animals, whatever you care about. I like to help all beings. Okay, I love animals, I love people, I wanna help everybody. But whatever speaks to you is what you should focus on. Because when you help other people, it has a healing effect on you. Honestly, helping other people can sometimes feel selfish, because while I'm not doing it to get a pat on the back, I am doing it because I know that helping other people is gonna make me feel better. It's gonna help quiet this chaos that's always in my mind. All this darkness, this chaos that's always there. It actually can help quell that. And I'm gonna be like, shut up. I'm using that energy to help other people, to help other beings. I'm not gonna be consumed by this and be crippled by it. So there's many organizations I support. As you know, Project Child Save, they help save kids from the worst suffering you can imagine: human trafficking, sex slavery. I've talked about them many times. Fantastic organization, and 100% of donations goes to the cause. No one's taking a salary there. Now, another great organization is a new friend, Patrick in Uganda. And let me look at Patrick's last name. I'm gonna butcher this, Patrick, I'm sorry, but I wanted to say it. Patrick Sabrumbi. Now, I'm sure that, I don't know why I'm trying to say it in an Indian accent, but Sabrumbi, Mr. Mala, Sabrumbi. Okay, there we go, that's a little bit better. That's my African accent. All right, now Patrick's a great guy. He's only 26. He runs the Patrick Cares Orphanage Home. And I have a link to a GoFundMe page on my bio because we're trying to raise funds to get clean drinking water for them. Many of us take for granted the fact that we actually have access to water, or we can just walk into our kitchen and turn on the faucet. Now, I know some parts of the country are not that fortunate, but overall, most of us have running water when we need it. And imagine if you had to walk several miles to a well to get water every day, just basic water for bathing, for cooking, for drinking, obviously, for consuming. Imagine if you had to do that every morning, how much of a hardship that would be. Now imagine kids having to do that every day. So we want to build this well so that they have clean drinking water right on site. This actually helps a great deal. Now 100% of the donations at this GoFundMe page are going to go to this project. No one's pocketing this, no one's embezzling this, no one's going on an expensive vacation. One thing I really like about Patrick is when I first made a donation, he showed me exactly what he did with that money. He bought clothes, he bought foods for the kids, he took pictures. Here's before what they were wearing, here's what they're wearing now. He sent me a beautiful picture just thanking me. It was really heartwarming. So anyone who makes a donation, you're gonna get one like that too. A few of my customers' friends have donated. My friend Pav in the UK is a dentist and fitness enthusiast. He's gotten behind this. My friend Ernie Koss, one of my customers, he's made a donation. Brad Hagans has made a donation. I see a bunch of anonymous ones. So thank you for stepping up. That's awesome. Now, you don't have to break the bank to help out this organization. If 100 people donate $5, that gets us all the way to getting this well. And also whatever's left over, put some food in these kids' stomachs. A lot of times they don't eat every day. And when they do eat, they subsist on so little. Now, one thing that, forget about feeling guilty. Sometimes people they feel guilty and that's why they want to help. Guilt's a wasted emotion. But one thing, it's better to be inspired. And when I see these kids, how happy they are to have a bowl of rice or ugali and a glass of juice, biggest smile on their face like it's Christmas morning. They're so appreciative. They've been through so much, yet they're so appreciative of these little things that we take for granted in life. There's one young girl, Daphne, who is 7 years old. She's at the orphanage with Patrick. Now, obviously, you ever notice that we just add unnecessary details? At least I do. It's like, yeah, we know she's at the orphanage, Mike. That's what you're talking about. Now, Daphne's only 7, and her story, she has a horrific traumatic story early on. She was 5 years old. Her father was brutally murdered in front of you. She actually hid in a latrine that he was digging. This is what he did for money. And managed to survive and ended up with Patrick, fortunately, thank God. Now, she looks like the happiest girl you'll ever see if you look at her picture on his Instagram page, or you go check out the website. And what's the website? friendsofpcu.com. friendsofpcu.com, all one word. And she has aspirations to be a broadcaster, and she has all these dreams. And all these kids at the orphanage, I believe there's about 18 kids there that Patrick takes care of. They all have dreams. They all want to have a great life, just like all of us, but they need help. Patrick needs help. This guy's 26. He's not working all day bringing in a lot of money. He's devoting his time to help these kids. So we need to step up and help him out as much as we can. So anyway, check out friendsofpcu.com. Check out Project Child Save. Check out the GoFundMe page that's at the bio on my Instagram page. And if you can make a donation, great. If you're strapped right now, I know a lot of people are struggling. I'm not trying to make anyone feel guilty if they can't make a donation, or a lot of you already donate to tons of great causes and you're going, oh, here's one more. I get it. Sometimes it feels like whack-a-mole. You donate to one organization, you feel good about yourself, and then you learn about 5 more worthy causes and you're going, man, it seems never ending. It almost seems futile, but it's not futile to the people that you help. Believe me. Maybe you can't save every kid, but the kids you help at this orphanage, it makes a difference in their lives. And that's the best we can do. So let's all work together on this one and see what we can do to help out. And remember, with depression, optimize your hormones. Make sure your endocrinology is on point. Every single person that goes to therapy for depression, a knowledgeable therapist should say, well, let's look at your blood work. Let's look at your gut health. Let's look at your nutrition. Are you drinking too much? Are you doing a job you hate? Are you in a toxic relationship? Because addressing all those things is going to have a dramatic impact. See, biochemical depression doesn't mean that changing circumstances won't improve your biochemical depression. Even though biochemical depression is independent of circumstances, it can still be improved by improving your circumstances. When I got fired from the last job I ever had, and I finally had the courage to get into what I do now, get into the fitness industry, that was a huge positive impact on my mental health. Yeah, sure, the darkness is still there, but so what? I'm thriving in spite of that, so it's confidence building as well. And then you meet great people, that has an incredible impact on your life. So surrounding yourself with people that care about you, that are trying to do positive things, optimizing your hormones, trying to find a way to do what you love for a living if possible, having as many happy moments. I think a really good life is one full of really happy moments, things that you'll remember for the rest of your life. I mean, I remember happy moments from 20, 30, 40 years ago. They just have that indelible effect. So anyway, I'm talking much longer than I expected to. At first, I didn't know if I had enough to say, and clearly I have more than enough. Reminds me of the first time I went to a therapy session. I told the therapist, I was like, I've got a few things I want to talk about, but I don't know if if I have enough to even fill an hour. So anyway, I just started blabbing. I'm going on and on and on. She's sitting there writing stuff. I'd love to see what she wrote. And after a while, she cuts me off and she goes, "Hey, how long do you think you've been here?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. No, she's like, "We've been talking for 90 minutes, or I've been talking for 90 minutes. And I was like, "God damn, 90 minutes? I've been here talking for 90 minutes. I guess I do have some shit to talk about." A lot of you that have never been to therapy, and therapy helps too. I am in no way denigrating therapy. I recommend it to everybody. You just have to have the right therapist. And one that I look for is a therapist that has therapy dogs, because most people that love dogs are good people, and that helps me be a little bit more comfortable having animals around. I like to take my dog Raina when I go play blackjack, because just having her there is therapeutic. So she really is a therapy dog. But a good therapist will be a great listener, and you're in an environment where you can say a lot of things that maybe you don't want to say to friends or family. And then you can have someone who's non-judgmental and non-biased give you advice, point you in the right direction, give you some things to think about. I got a lot out of it, honestly. I've done it a couple of times. So I recommend it to everybody. So all right, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. I'm gonna stop talking. Finally, I'm gonna recap. Optimize your hormones, help other people, get therapy. The darkness may never go away, but you can swim in the darkness. You can thrive in the darkness. You don't have to drown in the darkness.